day 8. So we're late at night at minute, so we're 7:45. Been quite busy today, had quite a lot of stuff on. So this week, obviously we're in week 2 now, day 8. I'm just going to introduce some different foods what I've been recommended. So Matt Wilford, thank you for recommendations. These are from Iceland. Obviously this is a salt and pepper chicken with rice, full of protein, 66 grams of protein and low in saturated fat. So that meal alone does 603 calories. So we're going to give these a whirl. So while we're just waiting for that bad boy to cook, there we go. Just want to talk about first week. Really happy with first week, if I'm quite honest. So just under 3.5 pound. So yeah, stuck to it, been consistent, done what we needed to do. Like I said, I'm introducing a few different foods this week as well to try and spruce things up a little bit. So I really don't know what to expect here, but it'll be too early. Smells alright. Does it? I don't know. I'm trying to see what we've got in here actually. We've got peas obviously, some chicken, pepper, and there was something at the beginning, I don't know, it's like egg or something, fried egg. We'll see. Chicken tastes rubbery. Can't see me being a fan of this. Not my kind of thing. We'll give it a second look. It's not very good either. It's hot. Spotted a couple little cheeky jalapenos in there as well. It's not the worst thing I've ever tasted. How am I going to be able to finish this big pot though? That is the question. I'm going to say it now. I think it is actually a grower. So it's alright. It's alright. We'll give it a thumbs up. It's not a go-to, but it's definitely alright. So that's day 8. Over and out. Here's to trying new foods. Day 9. And I want to start by addressing yesterday's evening meal. So when I got it out at microwave, it did smell okay. Give it a stir around. And then after that, it all went downhill from there. As you saw my reaction, I wasn't very pleased with it to start off with. But it all started off really well until I took that first bite, and it was like chewing rubber bands. So yeah, not for me. I think I managed half of it, and then I had to bin the other half. And to be fair, it probably did fill me. That half what I had, so I wasn't bothered about it after that. I was going to get some cottage cheese or something, some crackers, but yeah, I was full after that. So all we did then, we just topped up protein where I'd not finished that meal off with. We an Aldi broccoli chocolate mousse full of protein. So yeah, that filled the spot. Managed to get us 15,000 steps in again yesterday and 25 sit-ups. So I thought I'd get up early this morning. The weatherman predicted a storm, something coming, and we're going to be under 4 inches of snow. Well, as you can see, we're not. So yeah, yet another massive wrong prediction. Kind of glad though, because I didn't want to be trudging through all that snow. So we're on day 9, like I said. We've had another loss overnight. So we're down to 163.4 now, which I was buzzing with. I put it into Coach, ChatGPT, which tells me not to panic, don't celebrate it just yet, because the majority of that's going to be water. So we keep going, still keep being positive, because so far we're about 5.5 pound down according to my scales. How much of that's water, I don't know. It says I probably really burnt around about 1.5 pounds, so yeah, I'm happy with the results so far. Day 9. Just out my morning walk, like I say. So day 9 over and out. day 10. So I woke up this morning, I've maintained, so 163.6. I didn't hit my steps yesterday, but first time this year. I did just over 11,500 steps, but that's on me, that's my fault. I could have done them, but I chose to do other things instead. So yeah, I'm gonna hold myself accountable for that, which I've not got a problem with. And as I said, this is day 10, so this is weekend, this is Saturday. And like I keep saying, this is my dangerous time, so I've got to try and keep in that same mindset, and I've got to try keeping to them same rules. So like I do every morning during the week, regular breakfast, normal breakfast, and not going over the top. So my daughter had a match cancelled this morning for about 10th time this year, so we've got a free morning, so I'm going to try and use it to the best of my ability, whether that be work or whatever. We will keep focused and try and keep busy to avoid all that snacking. So yeah, day 10, not really got a lot to say. Hopefully by the time today is over, I'll have hit my 15,000 steps, so that is my priority, to get them in today. However I do it, I want to get into them. But yeah, upwards and onwards. So far I think 4.8 pound loss, so I'm aiming for £3 a week. So yeah, well on target for day 14. So yep, day 10 over and out. Morning, coach.
Good morning, hope you're feeling good and ready to tackle another day. Let me know what's on your mind or how I can help as we dive in.
So we're on day 11 this morning, mate, and I'm a bit disappointed, so I need your help to get motivated. So I'll give you a few weights from last few days. So Friday I was on 163.6, but I only managed 11,597 calories, steps. Saturday, yesterday obviously, 163.6, and I managed 16,496 steps. This morning I woke up 165.4, sorry, 164.9, so we've had an increase.
Got it, mate. So first off, let's just put this into perspective and take a breath. You're on day 11, and what you're seeing is actually a super common little blip. It's not a setback in the bigger picture. Here's why this happens and why it's normal. Daily fluctuations, even though you're at a great step count, your body can fluctuate a pound or two just based on water, bit of muscle repair from those steps, or even just the timing of your meals. It's super common. Progress isn't linear, weight loss never goes down in a perfectly straight line. You're going to have little ups here and there, even when you're doing everything right. You're still on track. The fact that you're keeping up those steps and being consistent means you're still moving in the right direction. This little bump is just noise. Here's how we get that motivation back on track. Zoom out. Look at your overall trend from day 1 to now. You've made real progress, and this one way doesn't erase that. Stick to the routine. Keep doing what you're doing. Trust the process. The consistency is what will get you there, not one day's number. Focus on non-scale wins. Think about how you feel, how your energy is, how your clothes fit. Those often show progress even when the scale takes a little detour. You're doing great, and this is just a tiny speed bump. Let's keep pushing forward, and you'll see that trend continue in the right direction.
Thanks, mate.
You're absolutely welcome. Just remember you've got this, and I'm here to help you keep that momentum going. Let's make day 11 a good one.
I have noticed that during my measurements that we've lost probably half an inch around my waist anyway, so...
That's brilliant to hear, and honestly, that's one of the best signs of real progress. Half an inch off your waist is a huge non-scale victory, and it shows that what you're doing is working even if the scale has its own little mind sometimes. It's proof that your body composition is changing, you're losing fat, and that you're heading in the right direction. So definitely celebrate that win. Keep doing what you're doing, and trust those measurements as a solid indicator that you're making progress.
I did have a cheeky Popeyes as well last night.
And you know what? That's totally fine. A cheeky Popeyes here and there isn't going to derail all the good work you've been doing. It's all about the bigger picture and the overall consistency. One meal doesn't undo your progress, especially when you're back on track the next day, which you are. So just chalk it up as part of living a balanced life. You enjoyed it, you're still making progress, and you're right back to your routine. That's what matters. Keep it up.
Appreciate it, man. Speak soon.
Anytime. I'm always here to help you stay on track and keep things positive. You're doing great, and I know you'll keep pushing forward. Speak soon, and let's keep it rolling.
Coach, try and work this out for me.
Absolutely. Just let me know what you need help working out, and I'll dive right in. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out together.
So, why do I seem to gain weight? It might not be much, but why do I always seem to gain weight on a weekend when I am still doing my steps?
Yeah, that's a super common question, and there are a few really straightforward reasons why that happens, even when you're still getting your steps in. Why weekend weight bumps happen? One, food choices and sodium. On weekends we often have a bit more maybe a takeaway or a restaurant meal, those tend to have more sodium, which makes your body hold on to a bit more water. So that little gain is usually water weight, not fat gain. 2, meal timing. Sometimes weekend meal timing is different. You might eat later at night or have bigger meals at different times, and that can mean just to get more food still in your system when you weigh yourself. 3, slight routine changes. Even if you're doing your steps, weekends might have a slightly different routine. Maybe you're resting more in between or just doing things a little differently. And that can cause small fluctuations too. The key takeaway, those weekend bumps are almost always just temporary water weight and not actual fat gain. You go back to your normal routine afterward, it evens out in a day or 2. So don't let it get you down. It's all part of the process and you're doing everything right. Keep going, trust that trick over time.
So when you're more physically active during week, and like your Saturday, Sundays, in between your walks and stuff, you're a bit chilly. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, that makes perfect sense, and it's actually pretty normal. During the week, you're probably more consistently active. Maybe you're on your feet more, moving around at work, or just have a more structured routine. Then on the weekends, even if you're getting your steps in, you got more downtime in between. That little bit of extra rest or just being more chill, like you said, can absolutely shift how your body holds water or how it feels. It's basically just a small routine difference, and it can affect those little fluctuations, but there's nothing to worry about. Your overall activity and your habits are what matter most, and weekend variations are just part of the normal ebb and flow. Keep focusing on the long-term trend, and you'll do great.
That makes perfect sense. Thanks for that, Coach.
You're very welcome. I'm glad it makes sense and that it helps put your mind at ease. Just keep doing what you're doing, and remember that these little fluctuations are all part of the journey. Keep it up, and you've got this.
So as you can see from that has been my problem. It comes to a weekend, and I seem to put a little bit of weight. It's not a lot, but enough to try and get my head down. And then you work extra hard the week after. So I'm finding, obviously, through that, the bit of downtime you've got, obviously, shifts the pattern of how you lose weight. So yeah, that's making more sense as well now. So yeah, hope that makes sense to you as well.
I just thought I'd jump on to show you level of commitment I'm at to get these steps in every day. So we're on Sunday. It's absolutely persisting it down. It's raining, it's cold, it's icy underfoot, but if I don't do these, it does something in here. So got to get these in. It's about 10:30 in the morning, Sunday morning, but we're out, we're in elements, we're doing it. Day 12, so we are Monday morning. I'm not gonna lie, I woke up this morning, got on scales, I've got to every morning, 165.1. I'm gutted. So that's about a 1.5 pound noise from my scales. When I look at what I've had this weekend, I don't think it's that bad. So I don't want to run through all my menu like a cafe, but Saturday, Sunday, Weetabix for breakfast, perfectly fine. Protein after that, protein shake after that, totally fine. Saturday I think I had a tuna sandwich, so yeah, perfectly fine. Brown bread as well, by the way. And then Saturday night, Popeyes, but I don't think that were extreme, just a chicken wrap and some Cajun fries. And a water, not a Diet Coke, a bottle of water. So yeah, Saturday, in my opinion, were fine. Yesterday, we went out for a family birthday, so we had a roast beef dinner, again, loads of veg on it and everything. And then last night for tea, cottage cheese and crackers, so not a bad weekend. But ChatGPT did tell me that it probably will be watered again. It's getting frustrating now. But I've got to try and remember that it did tell me that there was probably going to be an increase in weight again in week 2. So if I do listen to ChatGPT more, it predicts all this. So I don't know what science is behind it, why there'd be an increase on week 2, but it has. And it's looking like, obviously I've got today, Tuesday and Wednesday to get to week 2, end of week 2. But it's looking like I'm not going to hit my 6 pound, which is very frustrating. I thought £3 a week was achievable. Worst thing is I turned down a chocolate fudge cake yesterday I had to sit there and watch the rest of the family eat them. So yeah, fuming. And this is dangerous water for me, because obviously you think you're getting sacrifices up like that, and we've had a gain, so what's the point? That's what my head always tells me, and that's probably why I fail all the time. But yeah, there's got to be a win at the end of this. Obviously I know that the measurements are getting better, so like I mentioned on yesterday's, there has been an half an inch difference around my waist, so that's a positive I've got to take. And I can only think, like it said, it's going to be sodium holding other water, because I'm still doing my steps. They're holding all the water as well, my muscles are holding all the water. But yeah, I'm not going to lie, like I said, these videos I wanted to be as real as possible, and I have woke up this morning absolutely wounded, and I am going to Anfield today to watch Barnsley play, so today is not going to be a very high nutrient, so today it's probably going to be lager involved, and I can't see any food what's eaten today being very calorific, so I want to try and enjoy myself, but I've got to keep that in the back of my mind as well. So yeah, hard day, but we've got to keep motivated. I did do about a 20-minute run yesterday as well on treadmill, so I'm wondering if that is a shock to the system. Obviously not being used to that. On a positive note, so when I first started this channel up, I sent a link of a YouTube channel to a few of my friends, just really to see I had a bit of content, probably get some subscribers up. And yesterday morning, obviously feeling that, is it worth it, all this? And I got a text message from one of my old school friends, Martin Holden, saying that he's loving content, keep it up. I've inspired him to get out on his bike this morning. And you know what? When you get a text like that, it is all worth it. So, Martin, I told you I would. I'll give you a shout out, mate. Thank you very much for your support. It'll keep me going. Slightly miffed, slightly disheartened. Day 12, over and out. See you tomorrow. Day 13, bit of a whirlwind 24 hours, I'm not going to lie. So I set off to Anfield yesterday at 2 o'clock. Obviously knocked me massively out of my sink, what I'm used to. There were alcohol involved, there were hot pot involved, there were sausage rolls involved, so I tried to keep as clean as possible. Barnsley lost 4-1 yesterday, but very valiant effort from Reds, well proud of them. So I didn't actually get back in the house yesterday till about 1 AM. So leaving Anfield yesterday about 10 PM, didn't get in till 1 o'clock this morning. So yeah, everything were out of sync this morning. Alarm went off at 5:45. I weren't having it this morning, so I've not had my normal morning walk. I'm just starting it now after finishing work, trying to get these steps in and trying to get straight back on track with diet. So took my weight this morning, 164, so a slight decrease again, but I'm not sure whether that's just because of alcohol intake yesterday. Hopefully tomorrow's on day 14 we should see straight back to normal play. On a plus note, I've just met David Bradley, aka Dyer Bradley, aka Billy Casper from Kess, and that's one more thing off my bucket list for this year. So yeah, that's it, day 13 over and out. We're checking it morning and we'll give you this week's weigh-ins. Day 14, we're at 2 week mark. Scales this morning are reading 163.8, so I'll put all stats and everything at the end of the video. But as this week gone, it's gone exactly as ChatGPT said it would. So a lot of fluctuation, a lot of noise from scales, and it's not been the most consistent week neither, and I'm going to admit that. But doing what I should be doing, I've been doing all that. But like I said, yesterday we're at Anfield on Monday, totally out of my routine. Sunday we had a family meal, Saturday we had a takeaway, so yeah, we've had a loss this week, and I'm going to look at overall loss as opposed to what we've done this week, which it's not great, but it's a loss. So there's positives and everything, but I'm doing what I need to be doing. What do we expect from week 3? I don't know, but I've had an urge to start running again. So I think I'm going to introduce some running into it next week. So obviously we're doing the sit-ups a day. And like I mentioned in last week's video, I've got Sheffield 10k in September. Hopefully we'll be doing Barnsley 10k when entries go on offer on 1st of February. So that'll be 2 runs this year. But yeah, we're not seeing no extreme losses at the minute, which I'm gutted about, but I'm glad it's the same way because it's coming off naturally. There's no massive spikes and no massive dips. Obviously they do bounce back and bite you on backside, so it's positive so far, I think. So yeah, week 2, Operation Dad Bod. Overall assessment, it's been a week of learning, I know that for sure. It's been a week of ups and downs. Mentally, is it going to get harder? Probably, yeah. So just got to keep focusing on where we need to be. I've not hit what I wanted to this week. Like I say, I was aiming for £3 a week, so in theory we should have had a £6 loss altogether since Christmas, and we've not done that. So keeping focus and not being disheartened is where I usually go wrong, because I expect miracles straight away, but when you're looking long term, that's where we need to be heading. So yeah, I think, if I'm totally honest, a big week 3 ahead, which should get me back on track. But like I say, I've not had a bad week, so it's just scales are telling me different. Yep, ups and downs, trials and tribulations. Week 2, over and out. Said it.